Hi, welcome back to Gary's Urban Larder and the new year, 2026. This is the first video of the new year, and I'm making a classic for you, a one-pot meal, beef stew. There are no tricks, no gimmicks, just simple methods, patience, and simple seasonings. Let's get started. Okay, let me take you through the ingredients. I've got some stewing beef, which I'm just going to season with some cracked black pepper and some salt. I'm using sea salt. You can use whatever salt you have on hand, kosher, table salt, just to your taste. Okay, so I have that, and to it, I'm going to add some flour, and I'm just going to toss that just to make sure that's coated. And we just want that lightly coated, and that's going to help with the browning. So I also have mushrooms, actually, which are going to go in first in a dry pan so that the water can start to come out. And then I have a mirepoix. I've got chopped carrots, chopped celery, and chopped a yellow onion, a sweet onion. And that's really it, plus our potatoes. And we've got some stock here and some tomato paste. So that really is it. For the rest of the seasoning, we've got 2 bay leaves. That is it. So it just takes patience and a little bit of time. So I'll just get those mushrooms going. And as the water starts to come out, we'll add just a couple of bits of butter into there to help with the brown. The mushrooms have started to brown, and I added a little bit of butter. And we just continue to let that get some color. And that's all we want. We just want a little bit of color on these. And I tell you, on a wintry day like today, a nice pot cooking slowly on the stove and the smell still in the house really is a wonderful thing. So you can see there's a bit of fond building on the bottom of the pan, and we want that. So again, I'm just let those get a bit more color, and then we're going to reserve them to all, and we'll go on and brown our beef. Okay, just remove those to our bowl, and I'm going to add a bit of oil. You can use a neutral oil. This is olive oil. Don't need a lot. And in goes our beef. Now, you can do this in batches, depending on the amount of beef you have and the size of your pan, because you don't want to crowd it, because otherwise it will steam instead of actually sear. So that's pretty good for now. And I'll just let those brown. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes. Add for it to brown, and you build more and more flavor on the bottom of the pot. And that's what we want to do. We want to build that flavor, and then we're going to remove it and you sweat our vegetables and add our stock. So as I say, 4 or 5 minutes, turning those to the brown and seared on each side. Okay, those are really getting a good sear on them. I think actually I will switch to a pair of tongs, which just helps me get each side brown. Now you're not cooking these completely through. We just want to get some color and flavor. Remember, our only seasonings are salt and pepper and 2 bay leaves. You can forget the bay leaves if you don't have them. You can add some thyme to it if you like. So this is really the trick that all of our grandmothers made. How to get flavor with very little ingredients. Just going to add the rest of the batch and pull the others out. Smelling good in here. Get these others brown. What we want to make sure not to do is to burn the fond that's on the bottom of the pan that's building, because that will then make it bitter. We don't want that. So just get those ground off. And then we're going to add our onions. Just a couple more minutes. Okay, I've removed our meat, and now in go our onions. And the water will release from these onions and will start to bring that fond off the bottom of the pan. I'm just going to add some salt to help that along. Break those up. You see, I just had roughly chopped those. The onion. This is one whole medium onion, medium to large onion, and we just let that sweat. On top, I'll add our celery and our carrots. And this is what we want to do, just build flavor. Actually, as that's starting to sweat, I'm going to add our tomato paste just in the corner and start to cook that off. And if it's starting to get a bit too brown, add a splash of your stock and start scraping that off the bottom. Oh, that's looking really good. So we'll just continue to sweat these for about 6 minutes. We get that fond off the bottom. We just want to soften the onions a bit, because remember, this is going to cook for some time. I'm getting all that goodness off the bottom of our pan. As those vegetables start to soften, you'll notice the onion just starts to fall apart and become translucent. And that's really what we want to see before adding in our beef. So all of that just goes in along with any juices that have come off. And we're going to add that, our 2 bay leaves. And we're going to cover that with our stock. Now you can use a homemade stock, a good quality store-bought stock, which this is, and just to cover it. So first thing we want to do is to bring that up to a boil, and then we're going to lower it and cover it, and we're going to simmer it for an hour to an hour and a half. Not adding the potatoes yet. At the end of an hour, hour and a half, we'll check it, then add our potatoes. Another 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll add our mushrooms, and finally at the end we'll add some frozen peas. So bring this up to the boil, we'll reduce it to a simmer, cover, and then join me in about 90 minutes. An hour and 15 minutes have passed, So I'm just going to check our stew. Still got a while to go, but what I want to do is look at how tender the meat is becoming. It's still kind of tough, so we know that's going to need to cook a bit longer. But I'll take this opportunity to add our potatoes, and we'll then cook it for another 45 minutes to an hour. So these have been cut into quarters. You can make them smaller if you like. I like a more chunky potato in my stew. I'm just going to add those. And as I add them, I'm also going to add just a bit more of salt. A good pinch or two of salt. I don't want to add too much because as this cooks, we will uncover it at a point and it will reduce and it will concentrate the salt. So we want to just take it easy. Okay? So now I'll just cover this again and we'll let it cook 45 minutes to an hour more. And we'll check it again. Come back, we'll add our mushrooms. Okay, that has cooked for another 45 minutes. Just checking the meat. It's nearly tender, not quite falling apart. Our potatoes just have a bit of give. So it's now time to add our mushrooms. So in those go with any liquid that's come off them. And I'll give that a stir. And I'm just going to let that cook uncovered on low for 20 to 30 minutes. We've just got over 2 hours now. We'll check it and we'll see how we're doing. And then we'll taste the stew and see if we need to adjust the seasoning. So this is smelling wonderful. So I am looking forward to enjoying my stew. Don't go away. Our stew has stewed for 2 hours and 40 minutes or so. I just want to show you, oh, how tender. Just push it with a spoon and it just breaks apart. And now's the time to taste and adjust your seasonings. That is pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I'm going to give it just a couple of good pinches of salt. And now I'm going to add in our frozen peas. I'm just going to stir those through. Now you can add as many or as few peas as you wish. I like peas, but I don't like it too full of peas. And we're just going to want these to warm through. So I'm going to cover it and give it 15 minutes more. And then we'll put some in a bowl and we'll give it a taste. I'm really excited. It smells absolutely amazing in here. It's time to taste our stew. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's looking good. Really looking good. think the broth could be a little bit thicker, but I know with the potatoes and a little thyme that will come together. Just going to remove the bay leaf. So just hunt through for the bay leaf. Found one. Second one should be in there. I mean, you can see the steam. It really, really looks and smells fantastic. Okay, still hunting for the bay leaf, but I think it's time to plate it up. I've got some bread in my bowl, and I'm just going to add. Oh, it really does smell fantastic. And I think that, or maybe a little bit more, that is enough. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The aroma and the colors, it's just beautiful. Well, I'm wasting time. It's time to get this in my belly. It's beautiful. Okay. First, a piece of the beef. That is delicious. The beef is so tender, it literally just falls apart. And you know the great thing about beef stew is that it's better the next day. Some potato and some carrot. Let's see. Potatoes are beautiful and soft. Well, I absolutely have no complaints. Beautiful dish, beautiful stew, one pot, 2 seasonings, salt and pepper, a couple of bay leaves, and patience. Well, thank you for joining me today at Gary's Urban Larder. If you enjoyed today's recipe, please give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel. It's free. And ring that notification bell so you won't miss a single delicious recipe. And finally, please share this video with your friends. It helps to build our community. And if you see a hype button, please hype it. It really does help. Well, until next time, bye-bye. Mushroom. This is so good. Cannot beat a good